Originally the supreme 5-armed golden dragon of the dragon clan, but because of an accident, I traveled to a different world, and the women of this world, every 18 years old, they can all awaken and become dragon scales of different races. A crayfish so small that it has no power to attack. The flaming dragon that is so big that it destroys heaven and earth. Men will awaken and become dragon masters. The two contract with each other, fight against the powerful demons together, and as a time traveler. When I see those rejected girls, actually woke up. They are all of the bloodline of the Eastern Dragon that destroys heaven and earth. For example, Prisoner New Yojue, Mocking Wind and Blindness are all regarded as rubbish. No offensive talent. I just want to say that I want them all. However, although I have awakened the 3S level Dragon Gate talent, any woman who makes a contract with me, just go through the Dragon Gate. They can all evolve into 3's level Dragon Girls. Or is he ridiculed by everyone as the worst piece of trash? Just because I awakened dual talents? Only after making a contract with someone else, only then can you unlock the Dragon Gate talent. Before that, I can only use the most rubbish Earth level talents, just when I was about to find a girlfriend to make a contract with. When unlocking the Dragon Gate talent, suddenly discovered, the girlfriend on the awakening stage is surrounded by a red light. Then the original human form gradually became blurred, with a pair of wings. A large red lizard about 5 meters appears. At the same time, the test results appeared on the display next to it. Name Yu Hanjiao. Dragon Scale Form Fiery Flying Dragon Bloodline Talent Level S. Oh my god, it's S-Class! This kind of talented Dragon Scale, Longxiang College has not appeared in the past 10 years. As expected of my princess, please let me be your knight. But Liu Hanjiao walked straight towards me, because I didn't pay attention to Boy's Awakening before. After a casual meeting, he asked if you were also S-Class. I shook my head. Liu Hanjiao's face changed. When I asked, that episode was also very good. They can exert stronger combat power. No, I am the first level. Liu Hanjiao heard this. His face changed drastically. Couldn't help but take 2 steps back. It seems that they are afraid that I will use this low-level talent. It's like infecting yourself. You must be kidding me. How could you be an emperor? Liu Hanjiao forced out a smile and said. I looked into his eyes, smiling and saying I am an emperor. How? Now do you, Miss Liu, still want to be with me? As soon as I said these words, the people around me immediately stopped. You're nothing but a waste. Why do you want our Princess Liu to be with you? Everyone laughed. Liu Hanjiao felt even more irritable. I am the boyfriend he actively pursues. Because I'm handsome, and it ranks among the best in various tests. According to his idea, today both of them awaken their S-level talents. Then you can stay and fly together. But now he has awakened his S-level talent as he wished. But I only have ordinary D-level talents. But he's a boy with a bumpy face. Zhaozhen worshipped with joy. Said to Liu Hanjiao, Zhao Jiao, I have awakened the S-level Dragon Master Talent Dragon Gem. You be my girlfriend. Hear this sound. Liu Hanjiao made a decision. Look at me and say let's break up. We are of different classes after all. Civilians are just civilians. But he found I didn't pay attention to myself. I've taken my eyes off him. Including the people around you. Everyone looked at the awakening platform. At this time, another beautiful girl with high hopes stood there. His name is Song Xiao. Among girls, test scores ranked first in grade. Do you think this Song Xiao is also S-level? Maybe she is number 1 in grade after all. Liu Hanjiao is just the second one. Song Xiao is also young. There is also a lot of pressure on her. At this moment she closed her eyes tightly. Press on crystal. The hand on the ball almost trembles. Finally a white light flashed. Song Xiao's figure disappeared. A body over 2 meters long appeared on the spot. Dragon head fish body. Creature with 4 tiny claws. Name Song Xiao. Dragon Scale Form Lion Kiss Bloodline Talent Level. How can it be? It turned out to be the lowest grade, F. Everyone immediately exploded. Frequent exclamations. I originally thought Song Xiao was the top F level. I didn't expect it to be rated F. This is not even as good as Lu Zhen's level. There's still one level left in the middle. Liu Hanjiao was originally hostile to Song Xiao. See me looking at her and ignoring myself, even more angry. Laughing at Lu Zhen. I thought you were looking at some kind of genius. He's just an F-rated piece of trash. I thought he was not as good as me. At least it will be upgraded. I didn't expect that he is worse than me than you, but he just ignored him. Walked towards Song Xiao. He was left standing stiffly in place. Song Xiao is still on the awakening stage. He seems unable to accept this result, as the first in his grade. How can I become an awakener? A loser with F-level talent. As an orphan, he, only awakening to become a powerful dragon scale. Only then can we have a better life. But the reality gave him such a big blow. An F-level dragon scale. In today's social structure where there are many boys and girls, it is basically impossible for him to obtain his own dragon control history. Come down, classmate. The teacher in charge of awakening reminded me. Song Xiao staggered down the awakening stage. In a daze. My left foot caught my right foot. The body falls down. Song Xiao thought that he was already in such a mess anyway. It doesn't matter if you fall down. At this time, I suddenly felt a burst of warmth. When I came back to my senses, I found myself falling into my arm. Classmate, I am a prefecture-level talent. Are you willing to be my bond? About dragon scale? See this handsome face? He came to his senses. Quickly stand up from Lu Zhen's arms. Then nodded. I hope he knows Lu Zhen. I know that the other person is also a classmate with good grade, even though he only has Emperor-level talent. But for him now, even if it's an F-level dragon warrior, they might dislike him. Now there is a person with Emperor-level talent, willing to make a contract with him. This is already rare. At this time, a charming voice came from. He's just a waste. You choose him to be the dragon scale. I know. You are because you are only at the Emperor level now, feeling that you're not worthy of me, giving up on yourself. Right? If you ask me to be my manservant, I have resources at home. I can help you contract a dragon scale above the earth level. However, I held Song Xiao's hand, pulled him towards the outside of the crowd, didn't pay any attention to him at all. In an instant, Liu Hanjiao seemed to be frozen. The whole person fell into a kind of anger, in the complex emotions of humiliation. The suburbs tremble slightly. My talent reaches S level. In Lu Zhen's eyes, even Song Xiao, whose talent is only S level, is not as good as him. Lu Zhen, stop for me. Didn't you hear Zhao Zhao talking to you? You are no longer the first in grade. It's just a waste with earth level talent. What qualifications do you have to be so arrogant? Zhao Zhen saw his goddess Liu Hanjiao. I was dumped in the face. Immediately scolded. Show one's presence. He followed Liu Hanjiao and licked her for 3 years. Now I finally get what I want. That makes me feel particularly comfortable. But seeing Liu Hanjiao still being so attentive to Lu Zhen, she felt as uncomfortable as eating a fly. Can respond to her? It's still Lu Zhen's ignorance. This guy is talking to you. You are deaf. At this time, I had already brought Song Xiao to the location of the contract desk. Contract desk, right between the boy's awakening stage and the girl's awakening stage. After a boy chooses his favorite dragon scale girl, you can come here directly to complete the contract, because starting from today, complete the Dragon Warrior assessment within 3 days. So the sooner you complete the contract, the better. I know. At this time, I had a quarrel with Zhao Zhen and Liu Hanjiao. It's a waste of effort, so I chose to ignore it. I want the results to come out, then slap her hard in the face. After standing on the contract stage, my hands fit into Song Xiao's palms. Then follow the contract method learned in memory. Mobilize mental energy. Trigger the magic circle under your feet. Next moment, a golden light curtain emerged from around the contract platform. Followed by golden thread. Layer by layer, the two people's spiritual seas are connected. Contract completed. The golden light curtain falls. If we follow the normal contract process, this matter is over. But on my body, suddenly a golden light was released again. What happened? Hasn't Lu Zhen already awakened? How can I still wake up? And at this time, a powerful breath suddenly came here. Looking at this scene, I was surprised to say that this is the second awakening of Yulongxi's talent. The second person with the talent of Yulongxi is none other than. It is Ruan Simon, the Dean of Longxiang College. Annual awakening ritual are very important to the entire human community. Naturally, he also attaches great importance to it. Therefore, I have been paying attention to the situation near the awakening platform. The moment Lu Zhen's second awakening aura appeared, he sensed it and rushed over immediately. Everyone who awakens for the second time is a genius. They have dual talents of dragon controlling history, can give dragon scales more help. Therefore, more powerful dragon scales can be cultivated. So, he was very excited at this time, looking intently at the figure on the contract table. People around heard his words. Suddenly there was an uproar. I didn't expect things to turn around like this. The genius fell in less than 10 minutes. Then it rose to a new level. You can actually wake up a second time. Zhao Zhen stomped his feet angrily. He growled that this is absolutely impossible. Lu Zhen is a waste with Earth-level talent. Why can I awaken a second time? As the daughter of the Liu family, the three major families in Antelope City, Liu Hanjiao. Naturally, I have also heard of the second awakening and dual talent. He knows all the second talents of the second awakening. The lowest level is SS. There is even an SSS level talent. Such Lu Zhen is fully qualified to become his knight. Continue to be his boyfriend. Lu Zhen's first talent is double contract. It means that you can complete the contract with the second person. Isn't this what you prepared for me? Liu Hanjiao showed a confident smile. He decided to forgive Lu Zhen. Just let that Song Xiao be your maid. Think of this, he is in a good mood. Looking at the contract table expectantly. In golden light, a path carved with mysterious patterns, something like a door frame, floating in mid-air. Song Xiao on the side. A strong desire arises deep in my heart. The body begins to change uncontrollably. Became the dragon scale form of Kiss Kiss. Then he suddenly passed through the golden gate. The whole body is wrapped in a ball of golden light. Then an extremely powerful aura bloomed. A four-handed dragonfish with a body length of more than 6 meters appeared in mid-air. Ruan Simon said tremblingly, "This is the SSS level dragon scale breath." As soon as these words came out, everyone who was already guessing, extremely shocked. Number. Isn't Song School Beauty the lowest level S-level talent? Just because I dance from within that golden gate. He was promoted from S-class to SSS class in one leap. This is too ridiculous. What is my talent level? If you can make a contract with Senior Lu, can I become a Super S-level dragon scale? It seems that Senior Lu can contract a second dragon scale. I still have a chance. For a while, everyone was talking about it. Girls are full of hope for Song Xiao's rebirth. The envy and jealousy of being promoted to the SSS level dragon scale level. I can't wait to pounce on you now. Replace him and become Lu Zhen's contract partner. And Liu Hanjiao was so angry that she gritted her teeth. He felt that if it weren't for this Song Xiao, at this time, everyone is paying attention. It should be you who becomes SSS and dragon scale. The powerful S-level dragon scale aura is released. Violent heat wave, let those around. Girls who can't help but pounce on them. Actions consistent. Lu Zhen is my boyfriend. You deserve it too. Liu Hanjiao said coldly. Next to him, Zhao Zhen Wenyan, who was already very angry. A face. It even turned into a color like pork liver. But he didn't mean to blame the goddess at all. My mind is filled with jealousy and hatred towards Lu Zhen. His eyes stared at me. Although those girls are not angry with Liu Hanjiao's face, but due to his identity and strength, they didn't dare to refute out loud. On the contract table, Song Xiao turned into a human form, face full of excitement. In my eyes, Song Xiao's dragon scale information has changed. Song Xiao scolded the kiss. SSS level first level divine talent soars into the clouds and rides the mist. Divine talent to devour can swallow all things. Turn into energy to enhance strength. Divine talent 3 water control can control the water of rivers, lakes and sea. immune to water spell damage. Other dragon scale talents are called blood talents. And Song Xiao is called divine talent here. Born to be an extremely noble existence, these three talents are naturally extremely powerful. Soaring in the clouds and riding in the mist is inherent in the true dragon bloodline. The root of the skill needs wings to soar for 9 days. Swallow water control, for simple words mean absolute control. All things can be swallowed. All water is controllable. It is worthy of being one of the 9 bloodlines of the legendary true dragon. I took back the dragon gate, held his hand. The two of them just stepped off the awakening stage. I saw the dean hurriedly stopped in front of me. You two, follow me to reevaluate talent information. I said with a smile, I don't need to identify it anymore. I am an SSS level talent. Let Song Xiao conduct another appraisal. Heard her say that. Ruin Siming seemed to have thought of something. Didn't force it. Instead, he took the two of them to the girl's awakening stage again. After Song Xiao stood up, her SSS level dragon scale quality was displayed on the screen. Although everyone was mentally prepared, but after actually seeing the information on the display screen, I'm still amazed that Song Xiao was so lucky to be born. Isn't it just that she looks prettier than me? Anyway, I am also a first level talent, but she can rely on Luzon to become an SSS level dragon scale. Senior Lu is worthy of being an SSS level dragon master. I don't know who dumped Senior Lu at the beginning. So, blind. Brother Luzon still has a contract position. If he becomes my knight, I can challenge no matter how difficult it is. Listening to everyone's discussion, I still keep my calm look. My talent is not SSS level. The reason for not retesting? Just to prevent exposure. This world, it's not just the Federation under his roof that has him. One country. There are many other countries in the world. Although we now have a common enemy, monsters, but there are still fights between countries. Although SSS level talents are rare, but there are also a few in every country. But if your talent level is exposed, it may really cause unnecessary trouble. Just because my talent is the super god level divine bond, can be bonded with an unlimited number of divine bloodline dragon scale. Contract talent to super god level dragon gate. Contract partner Yulongman awakens the dragon bloodline. Thereafter, the gantry will be held once a month. Bloodline enhanced once. Luzon, I forgive you. Now let's go to the contract. Liu Hanjiao squeezed her way to the front from the crowd, put on a shy and affectionate look. As he spoke, he grabbed Lu Zhen's arm. But I took a step back to hide away. Waved to this ex-girlfriend. Please respect yourself. Liu Hanjiao saw this. The whole person almost fell down. He's the little princess of Antelope City. When have you ever been wronged like this? But in order to be able to make a contract with the SSS level talent Luzon, in order to allow myself to evolve, become an SSS level dragon scale, he suppressed his inner anger, squeezing out a smile and saying, Luzon, stop making trouble. If you have any dissatisfaction, we can resolve it privately after we get home. Now let's complete the contract. Okay. He walked towards Luzon, reached for my arm again, but saw me hiding again. You don't deserve to apologize. Thinking of these 3 words in my mind, as if struck by lightning, Liu Hanjiao even forgot to continue to block her. Wait until I hold Song Xiao's hand and walk a few meters. He just reacted. Suddenly he turned his head and shouted that I don't deserve it. Then who is worthy of you and still has a contract position? I am the only one with the highest talent here. While you can help an F-rated waste, became SSS level. But that was just an accident. Contracting with me is the wisest choice. I paused for a moment. No looking back, but leave a sentence. Then keep walking further. In my eyes, your talent is worthless. I'm not pretending to be anything, because it's true. The awakened dragon scales of these people, they are all varieties of the Western Dragon series. In my eyes, it's Doshaya who has wings. Only with the dragon, girls of blood. Only then are you qualified to become my contracted long-lived. Liu Hanjiao is indeed unworthy. Seeing Liu Hanjiao's ugly look, the girls around started to gloat. So what if it's an S-level talent? It's worthless in the eyes of Mr. Lu. He was the one who said they broke up in the first place. What kind of two classes of people are they talking about? It's only been half an hour now, and I'm begging to get back together. So shameless. Their discussion was very small, but as an S-level talent, Liu Hanjiao still hear clearly. His face gradually turned ferocious. Zhao Jiao, are you okay? Zhao Zhen came over and asked. Liu Hanjiao suddenly raised her head and looked at him. Say you want to be my knight? Zhao Zhen heard this, suddenly excitedly said, I think I want to be charming. You promised to be my contract partner. Liu Hanjiao did not answer directly. Instead, he took her to a place where there was no one. I casually said I can promise you, but the prerequisite is, you need to find an opportunity to destroy Lu Zhen and Song Xiao for me. I want to turn them into trash. Kneel before me. At this time, I took Song Xiao to participate in the combat assessment, as the floodgates open. It's a third-level monster giant-tailed griffin. Song Xiao instantly transformed into a red kiss form with a dragon head and a fish body, flying over the giant-tailed griffin. Shake hard. Huge dragon tail. He slapped the giant-tailed griffin hard on the back. The giant-tailed griffin looks like a cannonball. Was knocked to the ground. What a decisive blow. Dean, this person must be the top student in your class. Battalion Commander Meng Tai asked in surprise. Dean Ruan Siming was smiling from ear to ear. Nod and say yes. Test results in progress. Lu Zhen is the #1 boy in grade. Song Xiao is the #1 girl in grade. But during the morning test, Lu Zhen is just the #1. Song Xiao is only rated F. I didn't expect that this guy Lu Zhen gave me a big surprise. It's actually a double talent. And he also directly turned Song Xiao into an SSS level 1. Dragon Scale Sword Giant Kisser. After being beaten to the ground by Song Xiao, a dragon gate appeared in front of me. Wait until I cross the dragon gate. The whole person has undergone tremendous changes. A layer of dark gold appears on the skin. A pair of dragon horns sprouted from the head of the dragon scales. Both feet and hands turned into sharp dragon claws. Mrs. Meng couldn't help but exclaimed again, damn it. This is not a Jade Dragon Warrior of level 7 or above. Skills that can only be used. Possessed by dragon scales? No, his dragon scales are not possessed either. Xiao Qianjun's eyes lit up when he saw it. It seems with a smile. This is the second talent. One of the effects of the Golden Giant Door. Dragon scales used to evolve. People used to be able to obtain the energy of half-dragon transformation. In the field. I didn't give Juwei any breathing space to rescue him, arriving at Juwei's rescue in an instant. My dragon claws pierced Juwei's neck directly. This is his weakest point. The dragon's claw pulled hard. Large pieces of mixed mane flesh were torn off. The giant lion neighed angrily. Then he turned and bit me. Only to find that I had already flown into the air. The giant lion took to the air again, just took off and was less than 10 meters high. It was indeed pulled back to the ground by Song Xiao again. I seized the chance. Attack on his neck again. This time I broke several of his bones. After losing the life-saving stick with just one kiss, his head drooped, twitched a few times. Just die like that? Very accurate judgment. Such a beautiful combination. Looks like they still have some energy left. Is it necessary to pass the third-level superior assessment? The Border Guard Battalion Commander seems to be better than the two people taking the assessment. Even more excited. But then I heard me say we give up. Continue assessment. The battalion commander couldn't help but said, why don't you fight? Even 6 giant lions can't beat those 3. It should be a sure thing. Dean Ruan Siming replied. Probably because no matter whether it is a 3rd level lower level or a 3rd level upper level, the standards for subsidies after approval are the same. This kid came to take the warrior assessment right after he signed the contract. Just for the Yulong warrior subsidy. Both of them are orphans. Need this money. Battalion Commander Meng Taidang. That is to say, after the training camp is over, let them join our city defense camp. At that time, there will be preparation and subsidies. Perfect for homeless kids like this. City Lord Lu Tianlin said that such a talent. The government should provide key training and rewards. I will give him 500,000 federal coins as a reward. If you don't buy equipment, It is definitely enough for living in the early stage. Dean Ruin-Siming really squinted his eyes. He smiled and said, "Don't rob me of people. My granddaughter is still thinking of asking him for help. I should pay for this." Suddenly an old man stood up. The old man's name is Xiaoqiang-jun. It is the Central War Zone, one of the Federal War Zones. In the deputy town, because of my granddaughter Xiaolingchen, I'll be here for a tour the day after tomorrow. So, he wanted to meet his granddaughter before leaving. I was invited by Ruin-Siming to watch the assessment. He felt that he should act in advance. Ask your granddaughter to come over earlier, although cutting off the beard is a bit unethical, but when it comes to my granddaughter's future. He decided to be selfish for once. After Xiaoqiang-jun left, Meng Taze followed Ruin-Siming, came to the assessment office, see me outside the door and come out. Meng Tai stepped forward and praised him as a good boy. "You are very good. The little girl is also very smart. He's a warrior seed. Tomorrow is the training camp for elite graduates. Arrive at the North District City Defense Camp at 8:30 in the morning. Don't be late." I saw the battalion commander he was wearing as a prisoner of war. Guessed his identity. He nodded immediately and said he would arrive on time. Song Xiao is a little nervous. Subconsciously grabbed one of my arms. He nodded and said, "I can do it too. Just stop showing off to these two little kids. Waiting for your city defense camp. It's not late for you to train them again." Ruin-Siming came over and said that there was 1 million in this card. You take it and use it. Cultivation of dragon scales. And self-improvement requires money. Your talent is very good. It is the wealth of the Federation. The city lord will also reward you tomorrow. Give you 500,000? I just wanted to refuse. Just listen to Ruin-Siming continue to say. "But I have one thing to trouble you. I have a granddaughter named Nguyen Than Hai. Same as Zhao Song. Also an S-level talent. Named Yotzi. Now he serves as a combat instructor in the city defense camp. You can see him tomorrow if you go. I hope you can make a contract with him. Help him complete blood purification. Hear Yotzi's name. I feel like this is stable, because I contracted an extra dragon scale. All your attributes can be increased by 10%. If you contract 10 dragon scales with 3S level talent at the same time, I can have a physical body at the same level as dragon scales. And spiritual power, and also has all the talents and skills of 10 dragon scales. Gathering the bloodlines of the 10 great dragons, maybe I can transform into a real dragon. Attain the supreme 5-clawed golden dragon again. But I didn't show joy. Instead, he said to the dean, I can contract. It can only be dragon scales containing the blood of a divine dragon. Only it contains the blood of the dragon. Only then can you awaken to become an SSS level dragon scale. I can only wait until tomorrow to see Nguyen Than Hai. Only then can I be sure. Ruin-Siming was stunned for a moment after hearing this. Then I understood. No wonder I can get F level talent from. One step to leap to SSS level talent. Not evolution, but a second awakening. Then please see if my granddaughter has dragon blood. Whether there is. This money is all for you to use. This is my hope for you. I heard this and accepted the bank card. Nod and say thank you, Dean. I won't let you down. Turning around, he took Song Xiao's hand and walked outside. Where are we going? Aren't you going back to college? I turned around and said with a smile, I already have money. Of course, I'm going to live outside. Song Xiao's face suddenly turned red. I weakly asked if we were going to fast. I looked at him with suspicion. Asked, are you there? What are you thinking? We are going to attend a training camp tomorrow. Why don't you seize the time to practice? Song Xiao looked at me, that weird look on his face that looks like a smile but not a smile. Suddenly he blushed and puffed up his cheeks. You did it on purpose? Night before going to bed, the two have been practicing Jade Dragon history. There are 2 ways to practice as a warrior. The first kind of dragon controlling history training psionics technique. Absorb spiritual energy and transfer it to dragon scales, refining dragon scales into spiritual power to improve yourself. At the same time, part of it was given back to Yulongshi. Increase the level of Yulongshi. The higher the quality, the stronger the refining ability of dragon scales. The second type of dragon scale swallows monsters on its own. Absorb spiritual energy from monsters, refining into spiritual power to improve oneself. This method is very inefficient, but objectively speaking, Yulongshi cannot practice by himself. But dragon scales can brutally increase their strength on their own. So there will be dragon scales that fight alone. But I found that after I turned into a dragon, you can practice alone. This is the power of the true dragon body skill. Certainly. Currently, I still practice with dragon scales. Improve faster. Just one night. The spiritual power in both people's bodies has increased a lot. Early the next morning, I arrived at the North District training camp of the City Defense Army. Just when I arrived at the training camp, a man who has just arrived at the airport is also very tired. This is a very charming woman. It's like walking out of a painting. Ancient beauty Xiao Lingchen got into the car. Asked Grandpa doubtfully, "So, anxious to get me back?" "What is it for?" "I can't wait even one day." Xiao Qianjun said, "I found someone. His talent is to help Long Ling evolve." A girl who made a contract with him. Long Ling's talent directly transformed from F level to SSS level. He still has a contract position. "Lingchen, you have to seize this opportunity." Xiao Lingchen heard this. My heart suddenly became excited. He's 23 years old. Awakening an F-level dragon scale prison bird at the age of 18. I haven't made a contract with anyone else for 5 years. Every day I think about how my dragon scales can evolve. I don't expect any F-level or a level, even if it's just the foundation. But there has been no change in the past few years to escape reality. He is obsessed with music. Became a star. Suddenly he thought of something. Wait, does Grandpa Ruin know this news? Are you going to take me to snatch a man from Sister Kingen? She and Ruin Simming's granddaughter Ruin Kingen are good friends. We grew up together when we were kids. Good relationship? So, when I thought that I could evolve dragon scales, Xiao Lingchen immediately thought of it. Ruin Kingen is currently in Antelope City. Xiao Qianjun heard this, sighed. "I'm just afraid that you will let Kingen. That's why I won't tell you the reason." "But you can't do that." Xiao Lingchen always feels sorry for her best friend, Xiao Qianjun. He quickly added, "I don't want you to rob him, just to give you a chance to be chosen." That boy's contract partner. Not everyone can be it. It seems that dragon scales must have the blood of a divine dragon. It was your Grandpa Ruin who told me this news. So, don't feel guilty about anything. Be prepared with peace of mind. Just think of it as giving yourself a chance. Xiao Lingchen finally nodded and agreed. "Grandpa, I know." And in the training camp, Ruin Kingen looked at the people who came for training, said, "I am your fighting instructor, responsible for your combat training in the training camp. The conditions for graduating from me are very simple. You just need to defeat me to get out of here. And I am an F-level dragon scale, no history of dragon fighting, combat power leveling level 3 ultimate." Everyone heard. They were all surprised, because it's just an F-level dragon scale. The vast majority of people are only at level 1 throughout their lives. Combat power. This woman can actually have level 3 combat power. Very rare indeed. Zhaozhen said with a silly smile, "An F-level dragon scale. What qualifications do you have for dating?" "Although I am only at level 1 now. But even if the combat power is stable, there are still level to subordinates. You can reach the 2nd level within a month. It won't be easy to defeat you then." He doesn't know. The woman in front of me is Ruin Simming's granddaughter. At that time, Niu Yinthanhon asked to join the border guard force, fighting as an F-class Long Ming for 4 years. Grow to the 3rd level. None of them have appeared in public. Suddenly Ruin Kingen came to Zhaozhen. He stepped on the ground with one foot. He said coldly, "Let me teach you a lesson first. Before you have the strength to defeat the enemy, just don't make the other person angry." Followed by, the killing intent honed on the battlefield bursts out, looking at everyone. Continuing, "Does anyone still have any objections?" But I raised my hand and reported to the instructor. Me and my dragon scales completed the 3rd level lower level warrior assessment. Looking for advanced training options. Ruin Qing hasn't answered him directly yet. Instead, He told everyone that Luzon and Song Xiao were staying. Everyone else goes to run 100 kilometers to warm up first. At this time Xiao Kyongjun came over. Luzon, hello. I am Xiao Kyongjun. This is my granddaughter Xiao Lingjun. Yesterday, I was in the viewing hall of the Yulong Warrior Assessment Office. Saw your fight. Performed very well. Your Dean Ruan Siming told me yesterday. Your second talent. It can only help the dragon scales of the contract evolve. Also asking for contracted dragon scales. Must have the blood of the dragon. Look at Xiao Lingjun and Ruan Kingen. Do you have dragon blood? I looked at the two people and smiled. Miss Xia and Miss Ruan. Both of them have dragon blood. Hearing that he has the blood of a dragon, Xiao Lingjun suddenly beamed with joy. But when I heard that Ruan Kingen also had the blood of a dragon, then her expression changed. He trembled and said, "What about this contract opportunity? Let Kingen come." But at this time, I heard several people say this. Ruan Kingen seemed to understand something. He immediately said, "Sister Lin Chan, come on. I can continue to become stronger by myself." Xiao Lingjun shook her head and said no. You like fighting the most. Level 3 is the limit of your efforts alone. Practice together without you longer. You can't go to the real battlefield. And this opportunity was originally yours. I'm coming by plane. Insert 1 foot horizontally. I just have a glimmer of hope. Not trying to compete with you. Looking at the two sisters, they look like they are deeply in love with each other. I can't bear it. Just say it. You two, stop arguing. I want them all. Several people heard this. They all looked at me with wide eyes. Even Song Xiao looked shocked. Xiao Kyongjun frowned. Said that you have already contracted with Song Xiao. There is still one contract left that has not yet been contracted. And I have nothing to hide. I told them my talent directly. Xiao Lingjun suddenly said in surprise, "That means Kingen and I can both be your contract partners." And has it completed evolution? I nodded. That's a definite answer. Without further ado, now let's complete the contract. Xiao Kyongjun directly asked them, "Go and complete the contract now." Then several people came to the college's contract table. Sister Lingjun, come first. Ruan Kingen said. This time Xiao Lingjun did not refuse. He nodded. Come to the contract stage with me. The contract begins. My gantry is released. Xiao Lingjun, on the other hand, turned into a dragon scale involuntarily. The shape is a red scale. The oriental dragon about 3 meters long. It's just that the dragon horns on his head turned into bull horns. After a dragon roar, Xiao Lingjun passed through the dragon gate. Red light fades. Completed the transformation. The original 3-meter-long red dragon became a bright red dragon. A powerful breath is revealed. The delicate look just now is completely gone.